Many years ago, lived a young couple, Bolu and Dorasimi. They were very comfortable and happy. They have been married for 5 years without a child, and this made Iyabolu very uncomfortable. One day, she visited and met Bolu and Darasimi dressed in anko, having a good time together, and she said to Dara, "The only good thing you know how to do is to dress into match with my son and finish all his money. You, this boss, give me grandchildren, or is that too much to ask?" "Mama, you are welcome," the couple greeted. Iyabolu answered only her son and said to Darasimi, "Before I will answer that your cursed greeting, you need to prove to me that you are a man with a womb. That is why it is called woman." Darasimi couldn't bear this again, and she left their presence. Bolu tried speaking to his mother, but he was scolded. The next day, Darasimi went to the hospital to know what the problem is and why she hasn't gotten pregnant all these years. The test was done, and it was confirmed that nothing was medically wrong with her. The doctor advised that her husband should also come for his test. Darasimi laughed and said, her husband believes so much in God and that God gives children, and at the right time, theirs will come. The doctor responded, "That is a fact, but him coming for a test is just to ascertain that nothing is wrong with you both and that the delay to childbearing is not your fault." Darasimi said she will do her best to convince him to come around for the test, as the doctor was making a whole lot of sense. When she returned, just by the door, her mother-in-law said to her, "So you went to renew the charm that held your husband, my son, down, that even as a barren woman, he still cherishes and adores you? My dear, you think I just came in here to see your face or your beautiful house? Rara o, I made enquiries before coming, and let me tell you, the die is cast." Darasimi, as a well-trained girl, didn't respond. She only went inside to prepare lunch. When she was done, she served her mother-in-law, and Iyabolu sat on the chair and asked her to sit down. Dara was very happy because she thought her mother-in-law wanted to apologize for all she has been saying and doing since she arrived. Iyabolu said, "So Dara, apart from Bolu, my son, you also want to charm me? You have failed though, because I am stronger than you." She poured the food and water on her, and Dara packed a handful, ate it and said, "Mama, I didn't put anything in your food. Look now, nothing happened to me." Iyabolu said, "I know your type, and by the time I am done, you will pack your bags yourself out of this house." Bolu returned in the evening, had his bath, ate his food without Dara, his wife, saying a word to him, which was so unusual. He asked his wife what went wrong and why he hadn't said a thing since he returned from work. Dara spoke calmly to her husband and said, "After what Mama said yesterday, as you left for work, I went to the hospital to see a doctor." Bolu was listening, and he conducted a test and said from the results, which she quickly reached out to from her handbag, that nothing is wrong medically with me. She handed the results to her husband. Bolu read through it and said, "With what is written here, you are not supposed to be sad." Dara said, "Yes, my husband. I am sad because countless times you have refused to go to the hospital. Remember, I can't impregnate myself, and we need to be sure of what is causing this delay so we quickly address it." Bolu said, "I am not going to the hospital as nothing is wrong with me. I don't even have that time. When God is ready for us to bear children, nothing will stop it." Dara said, "I am beginning to believe that there is something you are keeping away from me. Because what is in creating time going to the hospital for a test? Your mother is already treating me like an outcast in my own house, and that alone should be enough for you to go to the hospital." Bolu said, women and wahala. Please, my dear, I had a very busy day today, and if you don't mind, this discussion has ended. Darasimi cried and didn't even know when she slept off. The next day, Bolu had gone to work, and Dara was trying to distract herself by seeing a movie in the living room. Her mother-in-law came and started singing. A fruitless tree that has refused to bear fruit has nothing doing standing. It will be cut off and used as a firewood. Darasimi started crying, and Iyabolu quickly went in and brought a bucket and said, "Fill it up for me to drink, because I drink tears for a living. Since you have decided to make me unhappy, for the limited time you have in my son's house, you will sleep in tears and wake up in tears, barren woman. I am in my son's house, oh. Do you have the one you will visit in the future? Convert those tears to babies. Darasimi. Or is it too much to ask?" Darasimi left the living room and went straight to her room. Her mother-in-law laughed out so loud and said, "Hope you are writing the score line, no. This should be 4-0 already." Darasimi lied on the floor in her room and cried. She asked God to remember her just the way he remembered Hannah. In the evening, Bolu returned, and Darasimi didn't wait for him to settle. She said to her husband, "You are making this pressure on me so unbearable." She narrated all his mother did to her and said, "Let's go to the hospital for this test, and let's know the next step to take in the right direction." She held her husband's hand and said, "Please, my husband, don't say no this time. You won't spend up to 30 minutes in the hospital." Bolu flinged her hand and went to confront his mother. His mother said to him, "My friend, lock my room. Go and meet your wife and give me grandchildren." She slept and never said any other word again. Bolu met his wife and said, "Pay deaf ears to naysayers. After all, I'm not complaining. I didn't get married to my mother, but you. So I don't want you to complain about this issue again." Darasimi then decided that if her mother-in-law comes up with her usual trouble, that she will show her the test, at least for her to know that the problem is not from her. The next day, as usual, Bolu went to work, leaving his wife and mother. Iyabolu went to the kitchen to prepare her food, as she doesn't trust her son's wife. Darasimi came in to make some coffee, and her mother-in-law said, "That's all you know how to do. Drink coffee, watch television, paint your eyes, paint your lips, paint your fingernails, do sissy, and nothing more while your mates are on their way back from school runs." She picked up a glass cup and said, "Take a look at this glass cup. There is no difference between this and your womb." Dara ran into her room, brought the result and said, "Mama, I am tired of all the insults I receive from you. I can't make babies alone. This is my result, and it clearly shows that nothing is wrong with me medically and I'm fit to be pregnant. I told your son to go to the hospital, but he has refused with the reason of, I don't even know. Maybe you should talk to your son to go for tests before you can now proceed in calling me names." She carried her cup of coffee and left. The mother-in-law said, "So it was my son all along, and it was Dara that was receiving the hits. Well, let me not say much because I don't even trust that girl. And she can say or do anything just to win me, since she can't get me with food. Let me talk to my son first before I know the next thing to do, because I must see my grandchildren before I die." She patiently waited for Bolu to return from work, and she sat him down in the parlor and said, "What is it that I'm hearing? Darasimi has shown me her medical results and said that you had bluntly refused to go and see a doctor. I am not begging you. Tomorrow, you and your wife will be in the hospital for that test." "But Mama, you know I will go to work," Bolu said. "You better call them this night to obtain permission, Because if you dare leave for work tomorrow, you will meet my corpse when you return. God forbid, Mama. Then you should do the right thing, as you know what to do, she said and entered her room. Darasimi heard voices, so she came out and her husband said, "Well done. You have shown Mama your medical results. So what's hard in trusting God absolutely and waiting for his time? My own mother said I will meet her corpse if I don't go to the hospital tomorrow. So celebrate your victory because you have won." Darasimi was very happy. "At least this is step 1 to victory," she said. They got to the hospital the next day, and after the test, the doctor said his sperm duct had been completely damaged as a result of untreated STD. They were all shocked, but his mother, who needed the children more, then asked the doctor if nothing can be done. The doctor replied that his case is totally irredeemable. At this time, Bolu stood up and left. His mother and wife followed. Darasimi was happy and was patiently waiting to see if her mother-in-law would transfer the energy of name calling to her son. But she waited in vain. Iyabolu went in straight to her room. Ashamed, she sat down and said, "So it was all my son's fault, and I was calling the innocent one names. In all, not under my watch will my son not bear children. Something must be done." She started eating her daughter's-in-law's food and would sit and discuss with her. After 2 weeks, Bolu had gone to work, and Iyabolu called on Darasimi and said, "If you love your husband, and I know you do, I want you to do something that will help both of you become parents." Darasimi said, "Mama, I don't know what to do. Thank God you were there with us when the doctor said that his sperms are completely dead and irredeemable, meaning I am not the boss here or a glass." Iyabolu said, "That's enough. We should be seeking for a solution and not going back." "I have a solution. I will talk to my brother's son to help out." "Eh?" Darasimi exclaimed. "Shh! Reduce your voice," Iyabolu pleaded. "I am doing so in order for my blood to still flow in that child. Nobody will know. It will just be a secret." "No, Mama, I can't. This will be a great act against my husband. He has been so kind and lovely. I think this is the best time to stand by him and trust God with him." "Okay," Iyabolu said. "If you were the one in this mess, the man would have looked for a solution long time ago. Stay here, grow old, and die barren for something that you are innocent of. Loyal wife." The pressure became worse as Darasimi and Bolu will not sit a minute without the interference of Iyabolu. She will say, "I did not ask for a car. I did not ask for a house. All I am asking for is a grandchild. If you don't give me grandchildren, at least give me one. One oko, just one. Go and have your own children. Oh, all my mates have grandchildren. Give me my own. Finish." Darasimi started crying again and told her husband that they should at least adopt a child and be free from Mama's incessant troubles. Bolu declined and said, "We will wait on God. He will give us our children. Let's just give it time. And if after 2 years nothing happens, I promise we will adopt as many as you want." Iyabolu had already gotten a good plan. She nursed it for 2 months and never said anything about grandchildren again. Bolu and Darasimi were glad they have won Mama to their side. Whenever she sees them together, she will only pray that their joy be full and leave them alone. One fateful day, Bolu had gone to work. Then she told Darasimi to relax as she wants to make sumptuous amala and begiri for her. Darasimi said, "No, Mama, I can't be here and watch you cook alone. And besides, today that you mentioned amala and begiri, it seems you are missing home, or you dreamt of the village last night." "I didn't, oh, my good daughter. I only want to treat you right. So I insist, go into your room. I will call you when the table is set. Darasimi, who thought all was well, agreed and went into her room. Within 20 minutes, the table was set. Iyabolu called her daughter-in-law and she ate. Dara enjoyed the meal because why not? Iyabolu, a typical Yoruba woman, took her time in preparing it. Very soon, Darasimi slept up and woke up after 40 minutes without having any knowledge of what had happened. They continued living in peace and harmony. Bolu thanked his mother for understanding with them. She smiled and said, "It's your life. I just decided not to drink paracetamol for your headache." One Sunday morning, Darasimi woke up and was vomiting. She vomited more than 3 times, and Bolu rushed her to the hospital because she was feeling so weak and complained about having unrest. When they got to the hospital, she was interrogated by the doctor, and from all she said, the doctor suggested that pregnancy tests be run before administering any drug or injection. To their amazement, the results came out positive, and strength came in from nowhere to Darasimi. She was happy. She declined Mama's counsel and waited on God with her husband. When they got home, they broke the good news to Mama. She danced and danced and danced until she was begged to stop. She ran out of the house, out of excitement, and returned with different types of fruits. She said to her son, "Bolu, you must not have a taste from this. It is from my daughter-in-law, as I want my grandchild to be very healthy and with a smooth, shiny skin when he comes out." Darasimi never lacked anything. The pregnancy journey was a smooth one because Iyabolu made sure she did nothing that would stress her. She even accompanied her to antenatals that other pregnant women admire such a mother-in-law. After 9 months, Darasimi delivered a beautiful, fair, hairy baby girl. Iyabolu was the happiest, and she named her Anu. She made sure no guests carried the baby as they came visiting. She played her role so well in taking care of Darasimi and the baby. But the worst nightmare began after the birth of that child, because she was always sick and they were in and out of the hospital. Iyabolu said to Darasimi, "So you stayed several years without making me a grandmother. And now that you managed to give me one, you have decided to birth a sick child. Did I even do anything to you? Can't you see this is not all about my son, but you are cursed?" "Mama," Darasimi said, "I am confused as you are. I was religious with all I was asked to do during pregnancy, and you are my witness. I anticipated a healthy child, but I don't know what went wrong." Anu became 1 year and nothing changed. They decided to go to the hospital to know her blood group. They were shocked to be told that Anu is an SS. Bolu said, "That's not possible. I am AA and my wife AS. We can't beat an AS." They decided to use another hospital just to confirm. It was still recorded that Anu was an SS. They didn't know what happened. Or was the baby swabbed? But Mama was there all through now. There's no how that would have been done under her watch. One night, Anu was arrested so badly that Iyabolu became so angry and carried her to the gatesman. Darasimi and Bolu were shocked and only watched to see what Mama was up to. Iyabolu said, "I paid you so well and this is what you have in your spare. Carry your burden before you kill my son." Bolu asked his mother to explain what she meant by that. The gateman then said, "Oga, I did my own no. Now Mama bring 100,000 naira, say I get job what I won't do for her. And if I say no, she go drive me comot for here. I could dey want money. Now Mama call me enter house. I see madam, she lie down dey sleep, e no shake. Now Mama say make her sleep with her. I say, madam good to me, I no fit do this kind bad thing to my oga. My mother say, if I no do am, I no go work here again. Oga, I do am. Na me give madam belle. Darasimi could not believe her ears. She fainted and was rushed to the hospital by her husband. Immediately they left. Iyabolu made sure that the gate man arranged all his things. She went inside, arranged her own things together with that of Anu, and she gave the gate man 50,000 naira and made sure he left with Anu, and she relocated back to the village. Darasimi woke up and blamed her husband. She said, "You ridiculed me and brought this shame on me by allowing the gate man sleep with me. How do you want me to feel whenever I see him? I am so ashamed of myself right now. I can't even continue in this marriage. I have wasted a lot of years, but it's okay, as it's never too late to start up again." She then told her husband how Mama initiated the plan of talking to her brother's son to sleep with her, but she declined, which was the reason she has always suggested adoption. Bolu knelt right beside the hospital bed and begged Darasimi, his wife, not to leave, as his world would be empty without her. She said her mind was made up and she can't stand the sight of the gatesman. Her husband assured her that the gatesman won't stay with them any longer, including his own mother and Anu. Once we get home, they will all leave our house. Darasimi was discharged, and when they got home, the gate was open. The boys' quarters where the gatesman stayed was empty. They went in and found Mama's room empty as well. Darasimi decided to stay back, and they re-strategized as a couple. She told her husband, since they were trusting God to bless them, that they should believe God and pray more and even fast as well. After 14 months, Darasimi delivered a set of twins, a boy and a girl, Taiwo and Kende, and they lived happily together for so many years. Hi, African Tales by Kama Tribe. I know you enjoyed the story again, and as usual, I will want to read what you learned in the comment section till I bring another story again your way. It's a goodbye from here, and God bless you.